Hi everyone, it's time for another science video investigation with me, Professor Berglund. So we are going to continue our investigation where we are exploring all that air can do and all of its properties and all that it can force things to do. So what I'm doing is I have two syringes, all right? But you will notice that attached to one of these syringes, I have a plastic tube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this syringe to the other end. So now we have a little syringe on syringe system going on. Now, as you can see, this first plunger is pushed down, but this second syringe is with the plunger pulled up. Now, what do you think will happen if I push and compress this plunger down? What will happen? Are there any predictions? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this syringe down. Oh, wait, what's going on over here? Hey, I'm not touching you. Is there a ghost over here pulling this out? All right, well, let's see. All right, so now this one's out, but this end is in. I don't like this. This is a little spooky. Let's see what happens. What? Wait, hey, what's going on? No, wait. Are we having a little back and forth? You guys are playing a game. Casper's over here just pulling on the other end because there's no way that this could just be pushed out on its own. That's impossible. It just can't be done. Can you help me figure out why, when I push this plunger down, does this plunger start moving out? What's happening? What's happening to the air? Where is the air going? All right, so that was one way. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull the plunger out for both of these, all right? So both plungers have been extended. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it. So now we have both ends attached. What do you think will happen when I push on this end? What will happen to this plunger? Because the last time when I pushed, this plunger extended. When I pushed the air down, when I compressed the air in the plunger on the other end pushed out. But with it already pushed out, what do you think is going to happen? Let's see. All right, so this is coming down. But I can't push anymore. All right, I'm going to let go. Whoa. It went back out. I'm pushing, but now I can't push anymore. Ugh. So I have to let go. It's going back out. Casper? Mommy? Is there a ghost in here? Look, I can't push anymore. That's weird. How come when I push now, when I push down, one, I can't push anymore, and then two, when I release, how come the plunger is going back out? And I know it's not because of ghosts, because there's nothing here. There's nothing pulling it out. So what's causing this plunger, one, to keep from going in, and then for it to pull back out? Okay, now here's another one. Both these are out. What happens if I push on both ends? I'm pushing. I can't push down anymore. They're just stuck. They're not budging. I can't move anymore. That's interesting. Okay, I have one more investigation. So, both of these are attached. They are both extended. We know that there is air in both tubes. And last time when I was pushing, I couldn't push any farther, and when I released, it popped back out. But what would happen if I just said, you know what, I am strong. I drink my milk, I eat my vegetables, I am a strong Professor Berglund. What happened if I just said, you know what, I'm going to push as hard as I can? What do you think would happen? Let's find out. Whoa, I made a little rocket cannon. I'm going to go pick that up. Hot diggity dog, you see that? It done popped right out. Why is that? All right, so let's go ahead and explain what's going on. So let's go back to the first part where I had one tube was down and I'm putting the plunger in. Okay, so I want to make sure that this plunger is down. I want to make sure I do this right. This plunger is extended, all right? So we know that air fills up space. So there is air right now in this tube. Even though you cannot see it, there is air inside of this syringe. And because I am attaching it to a tube, there is a channel or a pathway for the air to travel from one syringe to the other. So when I push down, what I'm really doing is, the key word is compressing. And to compress means to squeeze or to push. So we know that there is air in this tube and there's no air into this tube. But because there is this little miniature tube that connects these two syringes, when I push or compress, all the air is being compressed and pushed from this syringe through the tube into the other syringe. All right, so we are compressing the air or squeezing or pushing the air from one syringe to the other. So it kind of looks like a little dance. When I push this one goes back. Okay? But now, the other setup I did is I had both syringes extended. Both tubes are open. So there's air in both of these, and they are both as full as possible. There's no more air that can get into these tubes. It's impossible. So when I connect them and I try and push this plunger, I'm compressing more air, right? Because there's air in both of these tubes. But I'm pressing or compressing air from this tube into this other syringe. But we know that air takes up space. And this syringe was already full because it's extended. So as I'm compressing down into the tube, there is no more room for the air to go. So as I'm doing that, I'm building air pressure. Right? Pressure is building. As I compress and I push down, there is more pressure building up into this syringe and through this tube. There's no more room for the air to go because this plunger is blocking the air from escaping. So what happens naturally is when I let go, all the air that was compressed and squeezed up all up into this corner, right? Imagine being pushed and pushed into a corner, and then you finally release, you have more room to spread back out. So what's happening is right now, there is air in both of these areas, max capacity. As I squeeze and compress the air, it's traveling into, more air is building up, going into this syringe, and we're building more pressure. And I can't push anymore. So what's happening is there is air pressure. We've built up air pressure in these syringes. And as I release, the air can finally go back and stabilize, and now we're back to both syringes being full of air. But then we know what happens when I push this syringe all the way, right? So I'm building up air pressure, right? I'm compressing down on the air, which is pushing all the air into this second tube. But when you build up too much pressure, the air has to go somewhere. If I keep squeezing, the air is going to have to go somewhere because there's just too much pressure. So as I keep squeezing, the pressure is too much and it forces the tube out the other end. So that explains what's happening in these three tubes. All right, kiddos, thank you so much for watching. You guys did a great job in class. If you have two syringes at home, I would love for you to test this out if possible.